now.
Hello, welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm just here to fix the pipes, but I'll just hang around for a bit to chat with you if you want.
Oh, did you want a sandwich?
Let
me make you some lemonade.
Listen, it's a lot bigger job in here than it looked like, so I might be around for a while. Is it okay if I come back tomorrow? Your husband won't be home, right?
How's it going? How are you?
It's good. I'm really good. I'm really, really good. It's been a long handful of weeks and months. I was at an event last night and someone was like, it's just been a really long year. And someone next to me whispered, it's February. And like, that's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
However, it's this past week has been the longest week of the year for me. I've been working until like 4 a.m. so much lately, which has not been good. But yesterday was my first like full, genuine, like I don't have anything to do day off. Mm-hmm. That hasn't also involved a natural disaster of the calendar year. Like I had nothing to do. I didn't have obligations. I didn't have, things I needed to get done. And I spent it watching movies and oh my God,
hooray.
Josh, it was beautiful. It's all I want to do is watch fucking black and white movies with subtitles. Please, God. I just want to be a head wrapped in a blanket on a couch watching old, musty black and white movies with subtitles.
Yeah.
And, I had a day full of it yesterday. It was lovely.
Oh,
how
that's
are you
so
doing?
Nice. So I was pitching a TV show that I wrote, and it didn't sell. Last week was the final like nail in the coffin, which sucks. But it's normal, The one thing though that I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit was that people really liked the script. And because of that, I got like 24 general meetings, which if you don't know is like when your agent sets you up as a writer, like kind of on a coffee date with a development executive from a production company or a studio because they like your writing and want to meet you. And maybe you just get to know each other. It's like a date, basically. And the thing that I kept hearing on these generals over and over and over again was, we want procedurals. We want old school shows about doctors, lawyers, or cops, and we're not really looking for anything else. And they would also say, we're kind of getting past this television as just a chopped up movie kind of thing. I think we're going back to the old days of like the 80s and 90s when television was really great. That's when I grew up, and that's the kind of television that I wanted to make. And in the back of I'm not saying anything, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, really? Like, I didn't
Charles
like TV.
in charge of our days.
Exactly. I didn't watch television back then. I started watching television in the 2000s when it used to. I mean, I think we used to all agree that that's when TV got good,
quote unquote, good. Yeah, the prestige TV era,
right? Yeah,
which is now famously dead.
Famously, I'm telling you, it is based on these meetings, and and my knowledge of Hollywood back then was that TV was sort of looked down upon, and actors and writers and directors didn't want to work on television if they could work on film. And all of that switched in the 2000s. It became like TV was the place you wanted to be, and film was kind of second fiddle. And so I don't know, I'm just like very depressed, and I'm feeling like I need to not work in television unless someone offers me a job, and just refocus my efforts into film.
Yeah. It's going to be a really, really interesting moment for the TV landscape, because it does really seem, first, in so many different ways. First of all, the like streaming revolution came and went, and it's kind of, that bubble's going to burst eventually. But also, like, streaming companies keep making these TV shows, which they will only make for one season, maybe 2 or 3, and they're only going to be 8 to 10 episodes each. So there's not actually that much for people to watch, and there's not much for them to rewatch, but they're spending all of that time on those platforms rewatching Columbo and The Office and Parks and Rec and 30 Rock and
those procedurals
and the procedurals and like SVU and stuff like that. And
that's why they want to make these procedurals. They think oh, people love procedurals, we'll make our own. But people love procedurals because there's hundreds of hours of it.
Exactly.
They've already seen it. They can put it on and just walk around their house with it on the background. Netflix can't recreate that with 6 episodes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to backfire, but I don't know. It's just a very depressing landscape.
I mean, it could work if they budgeted it to, again, be a 22 episode order.
Right.
Like,
maybe,
that's the way it works.
If there's any silver lining to any of this is that, like, maybe we go back to 22 episode seasons. I somehow doubt it. And we certainly won't get the residuals of those old platforms, but, like, I don't know. So it's like a very depressing moment to be working in television.
I mean, all the stuff that the TV related stuff that I work on, we're of course at opposite ends of the production pipeline. I'm working in distribution, I'm working in marketing and stuff like that. And so I'm seeing all these shows that are shot and in the can and they're coming out ready to be marketed. And, you know, we just worked on, my company worked on Poker Face the first season, and I assume we'll work on the upcoming second season, and which is a procedural to a degree.
And I like that show.
It's a great one, and it's like from prestige filmmakers. I know Ty West is working on the new season, and it's a throwback to like Columbo and Murder, She Wrote and stuff like that. But we also been working on Doc, and which is like a new Fox show, which is like a doctor show. Right. And then there's also the new Noah Wyle show on HBO Max, which is from the creators of ER. And it's basically like, remember when Noah Wyle was on ER? Here's a show about Noah Wyle in ER from the creators of ER.
Yeah.
So I can very much feel the late 90s, early 2000s TV coming back. And I know, like, again, they brought back Criminal Minds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're bringing back a lot of these things.
Suits. They brought back Suits.
Did they bring back Suits?
Yeah, I just saw a billboard for Suits LA.
Is she coming back?
I don't think Meghan Markle's coming back.
But they won't bring back Psych. Cowards. So, like, I mean, there is a major hole in the market of quote unquote comfort TV, of like sitcoms and procedurals. But
that's all we're gonna get now. It's like they go all in on.
Yeah, exactly. That's because these streaming companies are now owned by tech companies that don't have a creative bone in their body.
Right.
So all they know how to do is to copy things, and then they're copying all each other at the same time. You'll notice right now there are 3 different prestige TV shows about the Secret Service and the presidency, one on Amazon, one on Hulu, and one on Netflix.
Right. I don't know. I realized at a certain point in the past month that I haven't been watching television really for like over a year. And considering I write for TV, that's bad. There's like nothing that I want to watch. And so I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I should just like double down on film. And take TV jobs when they come to me, but focus on writing movies because I think they're better. And that's all I watch.
If they can get you in the writer's room on the Buffy reboot, if it happens, which that's where you belong on any show.
I'm trying to get in that room. I am trying
Good
to get
fucking God. But like, I think you have a voice that needs to be demonstrated in film, and really haven't gotten a chance for that yet. In like a major feature format. I know. Well, I know. I mean, like,
they just don't get made.
Exactly. That needs to happen, and I want to see that happen. Anyway.
Well, speaking of films, I've watched some good ones.
Ooh.
I watched a lot of movies this week, actually.
I know you rewatched Nights of Cabiria already.
I did. I went to the theater and saw Nights of Cabiria, which was great to see with an audience. People laughed a lot. It's very funny when you watch it with a big group. I watched Pasolini's Medea for the first time, which I thought was very beautiful, very challenging, but
that's
very
Pasolini,
pretty.
baby.
I saw Hard Eyes, which our good friend Michael wrote, and I deeply loved. I got to sit next to him at the screening and give him a big squeeze on the shoulder as it started. I thought it was so fun. I saw Companion, which I really liked. It was like a big week. Yeah, I just was like at the movies.
That's so
I really
good.
I really liked Hard Eyes and Companion. I really want to see Presence. I really want to see The Monkey, which comes out in a week or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm feeling movies.
Ivory and I unfortunately weren't able to make it to that screening of Hard Eyes with you, but we're going to be going tonight, so we're super, super, super excited about that. How is Companion? I'm trying my best to avoid any spoilers about it, though I feel like maybe the trailer was just chock full of spoilers anyway. But
I was thinking that
I really want to see it.
The second round of trailers does spoil that she's a robot, which is not that hard to figure out. I was a little disappointed in that. I mean, the movie does open with the very first image is a visual reference to the Stepford Wives because she's pushing a shopping cart dead center down an aisle in that very aesthetic Wes Anderson kind of way. But there's a lot more surprises than that.
Yeah.
I think that they felt like, oh, thank you. I didn't know that word. I did feel like that is not the only, there are a lot of surprises, which is good.
Cool.
That it doesn't spoil. It's super fun. The most fun thing about it is the cast. I think all four people in the main cast are so great. Dennis Quaid's kid, whatever his name is, Jack Quaid.
Meg Ryan's son.
Oh, right. He's very funny, very charming as a total douchebag. I think Sophie Thatcher is a really good actor.
She's blowing the fuck up right now.
Really special. Yeah. And then Lucas Gage is great. What's his name? Yeah. They're so great. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm really excited to see it. I know it's produced by the director of Barbarian, Zach Kreger from The Whitest Kid You Know. And I know it was supposed to be the thing that he directed after Barbarian, and then he was like, no, let's just have the writer direct it. Like, he'll do a great job. So
I thought it was really well directed. I think
I love that he stepped back and allowed him to step up. Like, I think that's great.
It's really cool. The movie that I really wanted to talk about, though, was a movie that my movie club watched on Monday, and it's done remotely, so we use Slack during it. So it kind of has to be a bad movie in order to, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to watch, I don't know, Breaking the Waves or something and text through it. So it's usually a bad movie, and this is a movie that none of us had seen, including the person who picked it, but it's a movie from 2003, shot on a Sega, somehow, I think, and it's called Despiser, and it's the first movie I've ever rented from the faith section.
Oh,
and it is a Christian science fiction horror action movie, all done with green screen, so it has like special effects only one step above like Birdemic or something, you know what I mean? It's like that level of special effects. It's so insane, so bad.
I think I know the person that probably selected this film.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. It is so, I was howling at times. I mean, it's so insane. It's a little bit like Stephen King's The Dark Tower or like Hellraiser, where a man, I don't even remember how this happens, but his wife dies and goes to purgatory, and he gets sucked in there to get her back. And he's like with people from different points of history as like sort of an army unit who's trying to rescue his wife in purgatory or something. But there's like a big civil war going on in purgatory. And there are like little monsters that are all like primitive CGI. And
so it's like dumb Christian Orpheus.
Yes, exactly. It's a terribly made, it's one of those classic like so bad it's good, like Birdemic kind of movies. But I will say there is like a kind of charm about it just because it's made with so much care and it's so handmade. But I will say it's got a certain charm because it's made with so much love and it's kind of got that handmade quality. And at a certain point halfway through, I was like, is this beautiful? Is this like legitimately beautiful? You know, it's like so Dada-ish that it kind of transcends a little bit. It maybe. So I don't know. I kind of loved it. And you can rent it from the filmmaker's website. He's made other movies as well. It's called Despiser.
I'm looking it up right now and I'm looking at these effects and holy shit. They're like kind of adorable.
It's kind of adorable, actually. And it's not so Christian that it's like, I mean, it's very Christian. You rent it from the faith section of Prime, but it, I don't know. That doesn't, not in a way that bothers me. It doesn't feel, you know, conservative. It doesn't feel, there's swearing in it. It doesn't feel homophobic in any way. You know what I mean? So I think it's really worth watching. It's $1 to rent on Prime. It's very funny. It would be great to like smoke weed with and watch with a big group of friends. It's like that kind of movie. Outrageous.
Apparently it got like a lavish Blu-ray release recently.
Good. I'm glad.
I love that we're in this stage of filmmaking.
Yeah. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome or whoever put that out.
Apparently Visual Vengeance home video.
Okay, I don't know them, but I'm glad for them.
Yeah, it's got like a fucking like deluxe Blu-ray. Good for you, Despiser. and good for you, Philip Cook.
Yeah.
That's adorable. It looks like it comes with like a sheet of stickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder what they are.
They're not movie specific, but they're like little VHS.
They're not movie specific. They're like, just like
they're
scratch and sniff stickers from the 80s. Kind of
stickers you would find like at a video store on a tape. So
it's like
I see. Sci-fi, new release, shot on video. Rewind. Yeah, those kinds of things. Yeah. But I mean, it's funny. Someone on eBay, I was just like Googled it, and they came up on the eBay listing came up first. It was like brand new limited edition collector's edition, sealed, $34, and I was like, oh wow, must be out of print or something. And then 2 clicks later, I found it on Diabolic DVD, brand new for $18, and I was like, oh yeah, yep.
Or you can rent it first for $1. Make sure that you like it.
Well, I think I know what Josh is getting for Christmas this year.
How about you? Have you watched anything good?
I've been watching things on apparently the polar opposite spectrum of films. Okay. The Despiser.
Well, I did watch Pasolini's Medea. So.
You did watch a Pasolini film. You did watch a couple of Italian films. So, I will say I did also get out to the theater this past week, and I went to go see a movie. Somehow there's so many goddamn horror movies out right now. It's overwhelming, and I'm trying to catch up as much as I can before The Monkey comes out. It makes it even more. But I somehow saw the movie you didn't see, which is I went to see the new Steven Soderbergh film, Presence. The new old Soderbergh movie, because he has another new movie coming out in March called Black Bag with Cate Blanchett.
Damn.
He's working. Remember when he retired?
Yeah.
He's made 11 films since he retired and 3 miniseries.
That's how I should retire. I'd be lucky. Anyone
would. Presence is spectacular. It's really good. I think, Josh, you in particular would like it because it's essentially a family drama play. It's all in the house. It's all in the one location. So the gimmick of the film, it more or less falls under... Because Soderbergh kind of always swings in 2 camps. He's either making like a big Hollywood genre film of a kind, i.e. Ocean's 11 or Traffic or Contagion or Magic Mike. Or he's doing a weird experimental film, see Schizopolis or Bubble or Ocean's 12, where he's just kind of like fucking with form.
Yeah.
And Presence is more in that camp, in that the gimmick of the film is that it's a ghost story from the perspective of the ghost. So the camera is constantly a POV. So the entire film is long one takes.
Ooh, this sounds good.
And the camera is following ghost rules, so it can't leave the house. It's stuck within the house, and it flows and just floats around. And it like hides behind things and it interacts with. It's really, 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 really well done. Technically, the acting and the writing are exceptional. And the way that he directs the actors, it feels like a play. You get caught up in the family drama. It kind of becomes like a Mike Leigh film for a while until you remember that, oh yeah, there's a ghost, I guess.
Right.
Imagine if you were watching like Mike Leigh's Life is Sweet, or maybe like a darker one. Probably darker than Life is Sweet. Maybe like Meantime or something like that. But you were watching it from the perspective of a ghost that's haunting the house.
That sounds so good.
It's really good. And I've seen a lot of people, it's being released by Neon, and it's having like a big Neon marketing campaign, post Long Legs. So I feel like a lot of people are like going and expecting like some crazy ghost movie. It's a Steven Soderbergh movie first.
Yeah.
So I would say manage your expectations. However, I think it's beyond exceptional. I know the year's only just getting started, but it's going to be hard to beat it for me, I think. And also in terms of like all the movies that Soderbergh has made since his comeback in 2017, since his like 5-year hiatus.
Mm.
I think that and Logan Lucky are his best two. Since coming
I
back.
almost saw Presence yesterday, but it just had really weird show times. It was like 10 a.m. or 11 p.m. And I was like, well, I can't make either of those. So I might have to wait until it's streaming.
I mean, I would recommend seeing it in the theater just because of the like cinematography and execution of the gimmick visually is worth seeing in a theater. I, within moments, was swept up by the way the camera moves through the empty house. I was gobsmacked.
All right, well, maybe I have to commute to Glendale like I'm going to an office to see Presence at 10 a.m.
Well, I would say, it's worth it, and you got the time. I'm surprised that the Grove doesn't have like a good showtime for it, or like
I think I checked.
The Draft House.
Yeah.
That's lame.
Maybe the Draft House did.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go to Glendale for reasons that are too shady to talk about.
Anyway,
that sounds great.
It's a good flick. And then on my big day off, me on the couch watching movies, I rewatched Jean Renoir's The Rules of the Game, which I hadn't seen in like 15 years.
I've never seen that.
Which I had spotty memories of. I've seen a lot of his other films, and like Grand Illusion is the one I watched the most and have the best memories of. But I was always like, I know I've seen Rules of the Game, but it's always topping best of lists all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Sight and Sound does their list, like it's up in the top 10 every single time. And I was like, I really need to watch it again because I genuinely don't remember other than it's rich people in the country. But I know it had like a really subversive opening where people like rioted and threw chairs at the screen. And then like the negative was destroyed in World War II. And then it was reconstructed and stuff. Like crazy history. And now, of course, it's like well regarded as one of the greatest films of all time. And I was like, I just got to give it a watch. And I watched it again. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was a fucking like 14 or 15-year-old when I first saw it and was not paying attention even a little bit. It's genuinely a masterpiece. It's so good. It's made in like the late 30s, literally France right before the occupation. And it's about like rich people kind of swapping lovers at like a big chateau in the country. So it has all that kind of like farcical stage production, screwball comedy aspects you would want out of that. But there is a like much more quiet running social commentary through the whole thing that I wasn't able to pick up on as a teenager because I was expecting to be beat over the head by it, like in like a Lena Wertmuller or a Buñuel film, which I love. I'm not trying to get down on those, but it's a much more like gentler hand at it. And I think it's incredible. I think it's so goddamn funny. I think it pulls the rug out from under you really, really wonderfully. And I think it's able to get across social critique within its like, 1930s screwball of like, we're enjoying being in a lavish setting and playing with like capricious rich people while also being able to make fun of them. And it kind of has a really good like upstairs downstairs dichotomy that like got something like Gosford Park has.
Yeah,
it's really, really charming. I think you would get a kick out of it.
So from the 40s?
1939, 1938, 39. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really magnificent. It's really, really, really good. But I watched two films on the Criterion Channel yesterday, which Rules of the Game is on, but like I've got a Blu-ray of that. Directed by from the same director, from the same writer. They're both directed by Carlos Hugo Christansen, and they are both Argentinian films. Mm-hmm. And there's currently a spotlight on the Criterion Channel of like Argentinian noir films, which I've been dying to see for like a decade now. About 10 years ago, the Film Noir Foundation like helped discover and restore a handful of Argentinian genre films from the 40s and 50s that were like near degradation and almost about to disintegrate, and restored them. And at the time, we're just playing them at the Noir City film festivals in like Chicago and San Francisco and stuff. And so I was hearing rumblings about these movies, and that like one of them is a remake of M, and like some of them are adaptations of Cornell Woolrich and like other great writers like that, and that they're visually crazy and like really, really like beautiful and like psychologically influenced, and they just haven't been available. And then suddenly they just all popped up on the Criterion channel and under a big spotlight banner. And so I watched 2 of them yesterday, and I loved them so goddamn much. They're both directed by Hugo Christansen, and they're both adapted from Cornell Woolrich short stories. One is called Never Open That Door, which is kind of right. It's like an omnibus anthology film of just 2 stories. One about a man who's kind of having an incestuous relationship with his sister, who is being blackmailed. And the man then goes on a vengeance streak in the name of his sister. And the other is about a lonely blind woman whose long lost son returns in the middle of the night, now a violent sociopath who's like trying to like hide out from the police with her. And they're both so fucking gorgeous. They remind me a lot of like, they're a lot more expressive and stylistic than what America was doing with film noir in the 40s and 50s. It's closer to what Mario Bava would take the thriller genre into in Italy in the 50s and 60s.
Wow.
But in black and white. There's a scene in the first story of Never Open That Door that's mostly set within this big lavish penthouse apartment that these 2 siblings share. And one of the walls has a giant like surrealist mural on it that looks like a Dali landscape.
Ooh, like a Messiah of Evil style.
Yeah. And the blocking of the scenes are really, really, really important. And like we'll switch to all of a sudden showing them against that wall at very, very important times. And then the second story, which is all about the blind woman kind of like surviving a home invasion from her son, is almost entirely filmed in darkness. And you just get like edge lights on everyone. It's gorgeous. But in the second film, I think you would like even more. It's from the same year, also from the same director, and also based on a Cornell Woolrich story, which I'm a huge fan of. Cornell Woolrich. He shares a birthday with me and was a great queer pulp writer. He wrote Rear Window. He wrote The Bride Wore Black. He wrote the story that the Val Lewton film The Leopard Man is based on, Seven Bloodstained Orchids, the Giallo film,
Damn, I need to read him.
Mississippi Mermaid. He was also Fassbinder's Martha is based on Cornell Woolrich. So like he's a massive figure that connects the through line that I'm obsessed with between film noir, giallo, and then the 80s, 90s erotic thriller.
Wow, I've never heard of this person. I read a lot and I don't know this person. So I need to get on eBay and get him an anthology like right away.
One of my favorite authors. He was a gay man that lived with his mother.
Love it.
In like Upper East Side, New York. And Rear Window is based on his own experiences. Like after his mother died, he like couldn't take care of himself, and he was like had injured himself and was like stuck at home alone while his like boyfriend came over occasionally, and he wrote Rear Window based on that. Like one of my favorite authors. He's super weird. And like so many incredible filmmakers have touched his stuff. I know Cloak and Dagger, the 80s film, is also based on him. Yeah. This one is called If I Should Die Before I Wake. And it's about like elementary school student in Argentina who his father is a police inspector. And when a girl that he's in class with that he kind of becomes friends with is receiving a bunch of candy from a guy that hangs out around in front of the school, but she's not allowed to tell anyone about it. It's a secret, so he can't tell anyone about it. When she disappears, it really freaks him out. And then her body is found a few days later, and the kid kind of becomes obsessed with it and like is honor bound to not tell his dad or the principal or the police what he knows about. Well, the police find the body, but not about the man that's been giving this girl a
River's
kid.
Edge where he like goes to visit the body. Okay.
But he becomes like, he starts having like these crazy surrealist nightmares about it. And the whole movie is kind of pitched as like a contemporary adaptation and update of like Grimm's fairy tales. And it's got this really crazy expressive style, and it's this really like gentle and generous portrayal of childhood, while also like it being a kind of noir mystery film about a child stopping a pedophilic serial killer. It's super fucked up.
That's cool.
It's
That's
super
cool.
mean. But it's really, really, really good, and like has like a gentle hand to it. It's called If I Should Die Before I Wake, and it's exceptionally rare. The only version that's available is on the Criterion channel. I think it's like available as a special feature on a DVD of another movie, because when they were restoring all of these movies, they tried to get that one restored, and by the time they got around to it, the print had disintegrated.
Shit.
The negative was just gone. So all they had was one like archival safety print that had like burned in English subtitles. And so it's just a scan of that.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate, but it still looks incredible. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. That
sounds really good.
There's like 4 more of those Argentinian noir movies, one of which is an adaptation of the novel Native Son, starring the author as the lead character.
That's crazy.
So I'm really excited to get to the rest of those. And like I said, one of them is a remake of the Fritz Lang movie M, retitled The Black Vampire, which like I can't wait to see. So I'm gonna be
really interesting.
I'm gonna be ripping through those movies. They really like kind of blend the like look and vibe and crime writing of film noir with like the expressive surrealistic filmography, like cinematography of more like horror movies. They're really great. I'm loving them. Good. I can't wait to watch more.
That sounds good. Speaking of good movies from abroad, we are going back down under, where we haven't been for a while. This is a movie from 1979 by one of Australia's finest, Peter Weir. It is The Plumber.
Plumber, love.
Oh, you must have the wrong unit.
Well, you're 15C.
Yes, but we didn't call a plumber.
Only way to get out of it.
There's a plumber here. He said he had to look at our pipes.
I didn't call a plumber. Some of the pipes have to be replaced.
Well, how long will that take?
Oh, 4 or 5 hours. Can't do it today. Tomorrow, okay?
Yeah.
Sure. Is it something that, is a medical problem?
Well, I'm not sure he's a real plumber. He said his name was Max, that he works for the university. You better take a look at the bathroom.
What's all this? I'm not really a plumber, you know. I'm actually a folk singer.
Which is also on Criterion, and only Criterion right now, I believe. I couldn't find it anywhere else. And then I was like, I saw this on Criterion. I'll check there. And
yeah, they own it.
Yeah.
It's because they own it.
This is the movie Peter Weir made right off of the tail of his more famous movie, Picnic at Hanging Rock, which was like a huge international success.
Well, he made it off the tail of his follow-up to that, which was The Last Wave.
Oh, is that right?
The Last Wave was the follow-up to Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Okay. So he made this in 3 weeks on 16 millimeter television, 16 millimeter film. It stars 3 soap opera actors. So it's a much smaller film. It didn't get released internationally until 1981, but it was a critical success. Janet Maslin loved it.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. I saw this a couple of years, maybe 2020 for the first time, whenever it showed up on Criterion. I think when they had that, I think it was when they had that 70s horror section a couple of years ago. It was in that. So that's when I saw it. I thought it was great. It reminded me of movies like Funny Games. What's the one that just came out that fuck. It's a remake of a Scandinavian movie, and there was just an American remake of it, and it's about people on vacation and they bring home another couple.
Speak No Evil.
It reminded me of Speak No Evil. It's kind of in that genre of terrible people being in your house horror.
Yeah, it's very much a thriller of niceties.
Yeah,
Of like how far can you push social conventions, which I really love, and it gets me very, very.
I love
very
it too.
And it's, this is maybe the most 2 Degree suburban home invasion movie ever, because it's still it's very much a home invasion movie, but it doesn't have the like typical trappings of like it's all at night and where are they in my house and I can't get them out. It's not that. It is very like it's
more pedestrian.
It's much more pedestrian. It's much more blue collar than that. It's all during the day. He comes in and he does leave every day, but he also comes back every day.
It also isn't, it's arguably not a horror film in the traditional sense. Like, he's not trying to kill her or physically harm her. It seems like he may be, but it seems like he's just trying to fuck with her and like psychologically torture her. And it does make you feel really stressed out. It is a very claustrophobic feeling. They live in a really tiny, really shitty apartment. And I think this movie is great. I think it's funny. I think it's subversive. I think it's weird. I think it's stressful. It's a really good movie to talk about classism with.
Very much so.
So basically, this couple at the heart of it, the man is a professor, and he works for the World Health Organization. He's studying a disease that's caused by cannibalism in Papua New Guinea.
Kuru.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's real or not. I didn't.
It is real.
Okay.
Kuru is a real disease. It's exceptionally rare, and it has essentially been extinct since 2005.
Okay.
So
he
Kuru
studies
is
that.
so rare; it's frequently brought up in medical textbooks and like doctor shows and stuff as a joke of like, I think I have Kuru. No, you fucking don't.
Okay.
So
that's a running theme in the movie. The main character is Jill, though, his younger wife. Well, actually, I don't know. She doesn't look younger, but Australian people in the 70s age in a weird way. She is a grad student and he's a professor.
Yeah.
So there's like a power difference, of course. And she's studying anthropology of some sort. She's been to Papua New Guinea with him. She is studying like the sort of arts and culture of these people in New Guinea. And they live on college housing. So they have like a college, style 1-bedroom apartment in a high-rise block. And one day the husband is off teaching or whatever. She gets a knock at the door, and it's this young plumber who says the building has sent him. He has to come in and check out her pipes. And then what follows is him just like over days and days and days destroying her bathroom. He takes a shower in there at some point. He
sets up and sings a folk song.
That part that's like the biggest jump scare. It's like when you open the bathroom door and there's a folk singer in your bathroom. He really wants to be Bob Dylan. He sees himself as like a singer-songwriter. And he's like ingratiating himself into her life in a way that is very unwelcome. She keeps trying to tell her husband about it, and he like poo-poos her. And he's also got some other distractions because he's a big opportunity. She has this great friend who's another professor's wife who, seems like a rich girl. She has like a Corvette and she smokes cigarettes. And she's my favorite character. I find both main characters totally insufferable for obvious reasons. the plumber, Max, is working class. He's a plumber. He is obnoxious because he never stops talking, and he's meant to be annoying. That's the purpose of the movie. I don't know if the movie wants me to find her annoying, but I do, because she's like such a drip and she won't stand up for herself, and I just can't stand her.
Well, she's also like an anthropology student, and so their house is like covered in artwork from New Guinea and Africa, and like, and so like whenever, especially in the 70s, I see like a white woman in a turtleneck in a room surrounded by African art, I'm always like, I'm a little suspect of you. Something about this feels something about this doesn't feel right.
I recently watched this documentary series. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like about a white yoga guru who was like a grifter and then died early. But this kind of yoga came to America in the 60s. This Sikh man from India brought it over, but he was a cab driver, and he just like got a load of these rich white hippies and was like, I know what. And he's like, became a yoga teacher, and he told them that this kind of yoga was thousands of years old. Really, he was just making it up on the fly. And I thought of him during this movie. He's an icon of mine. I love a good grifter.
Absolutely. I love the idea of thinking about like white wealthy anthropology students studying a piece of like, to them, primitive art that was made like 6 months ago in a sweatshop. Like, I don't know, something very fun.
Also, the plumber could never do this in a working class household. Like, if he had done this in your house growing up or mine, someone would have been like, get the fuck out of here or I will beat you up. You know what I mean? Like, it just would never fly. It only flies because of her like guilt, her like white liberal guilt.
Well, also because in a working class household, like, my father, actually or not, pretending to or not, would be like, I know what you're doing. I know what's actually wrong with the pipes. No, these pipes are fine. Like,
that's true too. Yeah, that's true as well.
It's the classic like car mechanic thing of like, oh, your flux rod is broken. I need to order you a new flux rod, and you're like, oh, of course. Like,
yeah,
it's got to be the flux rod, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You don't fucking know.
No, I don't know.
Exactly. And so, but also when he first shows up to their apartment and he gets in the elevator, he just kind of like willy-nilly picks a number.
Yeah. He also has like kind of a diva entrance, because the movie is training you to think that he's sexy as he arrives, because the first shot you get is his butt, and it's like sort of the album cover of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
He's wearing like workers jeans that are tight, and it's just like a long shot of his ass and these jeans and his legs and his boots, you know what I mean? So it's like the movie kind of thinks that he's sexy.
Well, it is to a degree also a like nightmare rendition of, at that time, a very like popular porn cliche of plumber's here to fix your pipes, ma'am.
Yeah. And he is a lot hotter than her husband, so like that's part of it, you know what I mean? Like, he's more virile. He's like going through their medicine
ruggedly
cabinet.
Handsome. He's got the
finds like the big Peter Katz in, or John, what's his name? Katz and Carrie.
Ivar Katz.
William Katz.
Oh yeah, William Katz and Carrie. Yeah.
Yeah, that hair. He's got that big hat, that big hair.
The big curly hair. He's very attractive.
He is. His hair is really terrible in this movie, but if you imagine he has like a normal haircut, he's very handsome. He's a soap opera actor. He's great in this too.
I will say, I do find Jill, played by Judy Morris, also to be very annoying for all the reasons that I mentioned. But like, I do think Judy Morris puts in an incredible performance.
She's great.
She, like you mentioned, was mostly a soap opera actress. In the 90s, she reinvented herself as a screenwriter.
Oh, did she?
She wrote 2 George Miller movies.
Really?
Babe, Pig in the Big City.
Oh my God.
Happy Feet.
No.
Yes.
Good for her. What a talent.
Right? And she's written other films too. She wrote a movie called Chasing Wonders and The Eye of the Storm, and like, you know, also gets like character credits on the sequels to Heavy Feet and Babe. But like, good for her, right? Like,
yeah.
She definitely gets more paychecks from those two than she does from the Plumber, but like,
I'm sure.
or Razorback. Sure. But she's great in this, and it's like really, it's always exciting. I mean, in this, she reminds me so much of
Susanna York.
Susanna York. She reminds me a lot of Susanna York in Images. Maybe it's the hair. I don't know. But Susanna York in Images is, of course, writing a kid's book. So then to find out that the actress from The Plumber went on to write kids' movies is, like, really adorable to me. And I do think, like, Images and The Plumber would make a pretty stellar double bill.
Yeah. I do think what's clever about this movie is that it does provide plausible deniability. So, like, throughout the entire movie, she could just be paranoid and making this up. Yeah. Right? Because he does, you know, all of the things that he says about the plumbing do kind of come to pass. And then at some point she goes downstairs to narc on him to like the building office. And the woman laughs at her because Jill is thinking that he's not really the plumber, right? That he doesn't actually work for the building at this point. She's gone so crazy from him. And then, of course, yes, he is the building's plumber. And then at that point, you're like, well, maybe he's just an annoying guy. And she's like literally going crazy. Right. So, and that never really gets resolved. Like it could be either way the entire time and after the movie. It could just be that she's like an annoying rich white bitch. You know, she's a Karen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Like he's maybe an annoying guy or like, you know, or whatever. But ultimately, she's just a Karen. That is like a totally possible read of this movie.
Absolutely. And also like, we're basically in her perspective for the majority of the movie. Yeah. So he could be not that annoying, and she interprets him as being that annoying.
Right. We're seeing her interpretation of these. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the smugness of having all of this like quote unquote primitive art around your apartment, and then a handyman comes in and how dare you?
Yeah.
I mean, her final act of the film and the way that the film ends is what is the classic entitled white lady move.
It's the Karen. It is totally the Karen. It's like such an infuriating. It makes me feel infuriated in the best possible way.
It's the Beverly Hills housewife, how to get rid of the maid move. Like,
right. Totally. But I'm like, does the movie want me to be on her side in that moment? I couldn't tell because I'm definitely not. I'm not rooting for either of them because I just don't. I think they're both sort of despicable for different reasons, and I'm not sure if that's what the movie wants me to feel.
Well, I think that this movie, in a far more superior way, is kind of trying to do what David Mamet tried to do with Oleana, which I think is a garbage movie and play. I think it's.
I'm not a David Mamet person.
Reprehensible.
In general.
I like his crime things. I like The Spanish Prisoner and things like that. But Oleana's dog shit. When he tries to be like socially conscious and like tell a story about the people or like talk about like topical issues, yeah, you're fucking a centrist piece of shit, dude. Like,
yeah,
it's never gonna work.
Centrist is generous, but
yeah, if not conservative, yeah. So with the plumber, I feel like he's having more fun with the exercise of playing devil's advocate between these two people that he never fully lands one way or another. But in doing so, much like in Oleana, you can't give either character too much interiority also, because that would then sway it one way or another and defeat the purpose that you're doing. So you kind of have to live with a bit more like two-dimensional cutouts. Yeah. And every time there might be something more, you kind of have to take it away or add a different thing to like muddy the water again. So it's constantly wants to keep it open to both interpretations, which I think works very well in this, but it's not a tactic that always works. See, right. Oleana is a piece of shit.
I guess I just mean like something like speak no evil, for instance. Like,
Yeah.
we know that they are killers and that the other couple is in danger, and that's very clear, and it's not an open question.
Yeah.
This is not like that at all. And I just wonder, I guess, if I were a normal person watching this, would my sympathies lie with her instead of the person that I am, which is somebody who grew up poor with a working class father and is now basically a communist. So there's like no chance. I'm not really a communist. I'm a socialist. But like, there's no chance that I would ever empathize with her over him.
Right.
I like him more than I like her,
Right,
despite
same.
knowing that if he were in my house, he would drive me crazy too. And I would also frame him for a crime.
I mean, I think that's kind of the point of the movie, right?
Right.
I think it's that it can operate as a Rorschach test for different audiences. And no matter what baggage you bring to the movie, you're right. So if you are from a more wealthy background and you side with her, then you're right. And that's how to deal with this kind of man. And this man is horrible and he's a menace and he's out to get her and he's just taking it out on her. Or if you're from a working class background, he's just doing his job and he's trying to be affable and he's trying to be nice. And maybe he crosses the line once or twice, but she's the crazy bitch. But I
Right.
think the thing that's really interesting about it is that it also is getting into classism and class warfare and a like very small broken down moment that filters it through a gendered perspective as well, obviously, as we're getting into the binary in a
Mhm.
way that Funny Games does. But what I was also thinking of was the Lena Wertmuller movie Swept Away.
I haven't seen that.
Incredible. You would
Yeah.
really, really like it. But it's about a wealthy woman who's out sailing on a yacht with all of her other rich friends, and there is a communist like boat hand working on the ship with her that she keeps like treating like shit. And when they both get knocked off the boat and land on a desert island, it's just the two of them.
Right.
And they have to deal with each other and no one else. And that then, of course, like flips the power dynamic because, well, he is more valuable in that situation. He's like stronger and like knows how to like
that's
survive.
like Triangle of Sadness has that element
Yes,
to it as well.
very much so. But then there's also a sexual component because it's the two people
Right.
alone on an island, and like they're both very attractive. Like,
But to your point, though, about like the gender dynamic, I have to admit, I didn't think about that because I am more or less male, and that is something to consider, right? Like she is actually physically in danger of him,
yeah,
which is something that I hadn't considered because of my own, experience and blind spots.
It's something that I thought about a lot the first time I watched the movie.
Of
This time I
course.
watched it because of what's going on in the world right now. I thought about it more
Yeah,
from
you're a
class
woman and
perspective.
I'm not, so I didn't think of
But
that.
the first time I watched it, I was very much thinking like, oh, any little move from this guy gets really scary really fast.
Yeah.
And again, the first time I saw it, I didn't know where it was going. So obviously, having now seen it before, I read it with more of a class lens. But the first time I saw it, I was slightly more on her side because I was like, I have no fucking clue what this guy's up to. And this is a 70s Australian movie. He could just fucking rape her. Like,
right. This
I
could
have
turn
no
into
clue.
a rape or a murder very easily. You're totally right. And I know that I did think that the first time I watched this. I felt much more frightened because I thought it was going to go to a darker place than it does.
And I think that is absolutely there. Like she has the class balance, but he has the gender balance, right? And so there, and again, to the gender imbalance as well, it's the like, psychotic woman, crazy bitch thing of like why her husband dismisses her the whole time too.
Yeah.
He's caught up in his own thing with his busy work and the colleagues have to come over for dinner. So like, honey, I'm at work. It's fine. It's a plumber. It's going to be whatever.
It's a sitcom setup.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, that's the point of the movie where I was like, okay, I think I'm off the hook in terms of like a rape or a murder because he has his colleagues from the World Health Organization come to his house for dinner. I don't know why they didn't tell them to go to a restaurant because the bathroom is like completely annihilated, just exposed pipes. And it's like a really funny scene. Jill has cooked them, including an Indian man, a really terrible curry that's too spicy that none of them can eat. And it's like a really funny scene. And it's like 3/4 of the way through the movie. And that's when I was like, okay, I think I'm off the hook for something darker.
Yeah.
Because it's such a funny scene. And then one of the men goes into the bathroom and it collapses on him and he gets pinned underneath the sink. It's just so... It's like absurdist theater. It's like
Very much
Ionesco
so.
or something, you know.
I've seen people compare it to Ionesco and Harold Pinter. So like, yeah, absolutely.
It would be a great play. Actually, it could be a really good play.
I think like staging this as a like very small play locally here would be like a super fun move.
Yeah, it's interesting too that they are like with the college, like the man is a professor and she's a grad student, because that's an interesting place in terms of class. I mean, people will tell you sometimes that like, oh, I grew up poor because my parents were professors, but technically they are not part of the working class. Do you know what I mean? They're like kind of bourgeoisie.
They're in academia.
Yeah. So that's an interesting space to have this debate.
And
too.
also like, it's a small apartment, which, you know, you can read as being about a financial thing, but also like he's a professor.
It's free.
She's clearly in her like mid to late 20s, if not in her 30s.
Right.
And she's a grad student writing a thesis paper.
Yeah.
She doesn't work.
Right.
She has to pay tuition. She's traveling. She collects art. Like,
we also know that she's posh because they both came from Melbourne, her and the plumber, and he asks her what school she went to, and she tells him, and he says, "Ooh la la, fancy," right? So she's a temporarily impoverished grad student, but she comes from an upper class background, and you know, professors are upper middle class. So yeah, it's an interesting place to put them financially.
Again, I don't know anyone. I don't know any Caucasian people that are this obsessed with the artworks of quote unquote primitive culture, like African art and like South American, like early civilization artwork. I don't know anyone like that is that into that stuff that isn't from a wealth background.
Right.
I don't know a single person. Like, it speaks a lot to this like fetishization of like, wow, I just wonder what it's like. It's the pulp common people thing.
Right. I mean, I'm doing it too right now. I'm like gardening and woodworking, so maybe I'm doing it as well. But at least I come from the working class. I might be going back there based on our economy now.
Christ.
I don't know. I'm not off the hook for that stuff. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think this is such a fun movie.
I think this is a super, super, super fun movie. And there's a thing that a friend says to me about my industry a lot, about our people that create artwork for a living, that are like artists for hire. And, you know, a lot of that work these days, because of computers and large agencies, they're expected to output a lot of stuff. And a friend of mine who's very like, you know, hands on paper kind of person, only wants to do a little bit of stuff, is always saying the phrase to me, if a plumber comes over to my house, I'm not going to ask him to fix my toilet 5 times in 5 different ways. And first of all, I do think that is a false equivalency in terms of industries, but also as soon as anyone says that to me, I think of this movie. I immediately think of the plumber.
Yeah. He should have tried 5 different ways. He seems like he's willfully fucking up her plumbing. Let's play Have They Seen It, where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. This is one of Australia's greatest exports. Do you think Kylie Minogue ever saw this movie?
I do love Kylie Minogue. Yeah, I mean, this was a TV movie in '79. It was like a big return to making a TV movie for Peter Weir. And I know Picking and Hanging Rock was a really big deal at the time. And it's right before he burst out major on the international circuit with Gallipoli.
She's also older than people might think. Kylie
she
Minogue.
is.
Not that she's an old lady, but you know, she's older than me, so she's like in her 50s probably.
Yeah, she became a pop star like at a certain time, so there's the perception that you're very young when you do that, which was not the case for her, which is awesome, which is very inspiring. And the same thing with like Danny Elfman, people like that. Yeah, I think she's seen this. I feel like it's not one she thinks about that often, but I do think
But
she's
she's
seen
ticked
this.
the box of having
She's ticked
seen
the
this.
box.
Yeah.
I have heard interviews with Peter Weir where he's mentioned that every time he's ever had a handyman over his house, they always mention the plumber.
Oh, really? I love that.
where they're always like, "I seen that movie you made. Is that what you think of us?"
Yeah.
Apparently, this is based on a true story, or true stories from his life and the life of a friend of his who was an anthropology student. And a lot of that woman's life and thesis paper are just used whole cloth in this, which is very interesting
That's
to me.
really interesting.
Who had a plumber come over who was super talkative and then just kept coming for like 5 days or something. And she was like, I was about to do something horrible to this man.
I bet that it's exaggerated, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the other thing that it's like vaguely based on was that apparently Peter Weir was driving through Australia in the like late 60s, early 70s, and he picked up a hitchhiker who to him from the outside looked like a hippie. So he was like, okay, whatever, I'll give you a lift. And this guy wouldn't stop talking in his car. And on top of the thing he wouldn't stop talking about is how we need to kill all the Vietnamese and how they need to drop the A-bomb on them and all these like fascist pro-war things. And he was like, get the fuck out of my car.
I don't know about Australia, but when I lived in New Zealand, we think of New Zealanders as like very progressive, and they are generally. But one spot where they really are not is people were super casually racist against Asians and the Chinese in particular. Like, it's crazy. Like, I worked at an ad agency and one of our clients was a Chinese immigrant. And when she wasn't in the room, our art director would like do her accent and make fun of her. And I was like, this is crazy. Anyway.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Jesus
I was shocked.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well, as we know, Judy Morris went on to become a very celebrated writer of many, many, many things. And one of them was, of course, the film Happy Feet from 2006, which won the Oscar and was a really, really big deal. And has, you know, at the time, one of the first big kind of like all-star voice casts for an animated film. It was around when they started really doing that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the voice actors in that movie is a huge voice actor in America and probably wouldn't get this kind of role nowadays because now it's always celebrities in this role. But this person was a celebrity in the 80s, was in a pop group in the 80s, and did a lot of like, was a big singer and did small acting roles as that before she then transitioned into just being like a voice actor in the 90s. And that would be none other than E.G. Daily.
Star of Valley Girl.
And Streets of Fire and Better Off Dead and Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Love her so much.
Do you think E.G. Daily has seen The Plumber? I
don't think so. I don't know. It feels like too far afield to me.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Do you know that? I know that you know this, but I often forget that she is in Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains.
Yeah.
She has that bit role as like the maid. She showed her boobs a lot in the early 80s.
Yeah, she did. Or she played proms. Like,
yeah, she's the singer at prom. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've heard that Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains is getting an American Blu-ray soon.
Oh, God, I've been waiting my whole life for that.
Mm-hmm. Fun City Edition. It's supposed to happen this year.
Wait. E.G. Daily, no, I don't think so.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't think so either. But I mean, maybe. I mean, she does. She's been doing some Rob Zombie movies of late, so maybe it's the kind of thing she would enjoy. But
maybe.
Yeah, she probably hasn't seen it.
Maybe she just wants to work. Okay, how about star of Speak No Evil, Scottish hunk James McAvoy? Do you think he's seen The Plumber?
God, I love James McAvoy.
He's so hot.
Has he been in a Peter Weir movie? Peter Weir hasn't made a movie in like fucking 15 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which, you know, he was also like defending Mel Gibson a lot around that time. So maybe that has something to do with the fact he hasn't made a movie in 15 years. I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna say no.
I think it feels kind of maybe, things feel obscure when you don't know about them, and I didn't know about this until the 2020s, so maybe it's just my stupid ass, but it feels like more on the obscure side here in the States.
I'm gonna just guess that he hasn't, but I feel like he would love it. And I feel like if he did watch it, he would start pitching it around town to be remade with him playing the plumber.
He'd be great.
He would be great if you did a stage production of this.
Wait, who would play Jill if he is...
I mean, I would want to pitch Eve Lindley, but like...
Oh, she'd be good.
Hollywood
being Hollywood, they would cast someone young and hot. And I guess because we're just thinking of her, maybe like Sophie Thatcher would be good.
Yeah.
And then her husband is someone older, like, more James McAvoy's age.
Yeah. I was thinking, God. I was going to say Tracy Letts is playing her husband.
Oh, he would be great. You also like want diversity though. So like maybe it'd be fun stunt casting to put like Jordan Peele in there in that role as the professor.
Yeah. Who doesn't believe her is
Yeah.
That would actually be very fun.
Well, we've just sold a remake of The Plumber. Somebody get CAA on the horn.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. We just wrapped it all up for you. There's another actress who's super popular right now. She's also young and hot. She's popping off, and she's popping up in a lot of things. She's been in a handful of horror movies that she's led. She's also been in more big prestige projects of late, like Babylon. And she's Australian. We
forget that.
The daughter of Australia's own Hugo Weaving. Do you think Samara Weaving has seen The Plumber?
Yes, for sure.
Hugo Weaving, who's been in 2 films written by the lead actress of The Plumber.
Yeah, I think for sure she's seen it. I feel like I don't have any evidence for this. I feel like this is a more widely seen film in Australia, but I don't know that for sure.
I feel like Peter Weir's non-Picnic at Hanging Rock Australian films like Gallipoli and The Last Wave and The Cars That Ate Paris are a lot bigger cult films in Australia than they are here. I think they're closer to like what we think of like Repo Man and things like that being for American cult audiences, or the way like With Null and I is a big cult film in England, but not really here. Like I feel like that to a large degree. I know George Miller put in references to The Cars That Ate Paris and Mad Max Fury Road, which is like super cute and adorable. So I do think there is much more of a cult following in Australia to these films. I will also say, like, we need to do The Last Wave on Bloodhaus soon. It is an exceptionally Bloodhaus movie.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen these 2 Peter Weir movies.
Fair. I don't know if you would like The Cars That Ate Paris as much as these 2. I like it, but I think you would love The Last Wave. It's got Richard Chamberlain in it, like in like his hot 70s
that's cool.
Era. But yeah, okay. I think Samara Weaving, definitely seeing this. I think
because of her dad, if nothing else.
I feel like this is a movie that Hugo Weaving loves. And
I'm
I feel
sure
like,
he does.
I feel like this is like something that she watches with her dad around Christmas.
But I think even without her dad, she seems like somebody who would love Picnic at Hanging Rock and would maybe have seen this through that.
I think she was in the remake of Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Oh, was she?
Let me check.
Limited series that they did?
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch that. I'm really curious about it.
Ivory's as you know, a massive fan of the original film. She's also a big fan of the remake, and we have a Blu-ray of it. Samara Weaving is in the remake. She played Irma. Yep.
Oh, she played Irma? She seems far too pretty to be Irma.
Right?
Irma's like the annoying chubby girl.
Natalie Dormer's also in it. Lily Sol. Yeah, huge cast. It was pretty well received.
Yeah, I heard it was good. Thank you for listening to this episode of Bloodhaus. Please rate it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. We do Blu-ray commentary. You can go to Arrow Video and purchase Blu-rays with our commentary. We did Dress to Kill and we did The Long Kiss Goodnight, which are both available for pre-order now. Drusilla, where are you?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be coming very soon to that, so keep an eye out for that. You can also follow me on Letterboxd. If you look for Sister Hyde or Drusilla Adeline, you can follow me on there. And you can also follow me, at least for the time being, on Instagram at Sister Hyde. What about you, Josh? How can people perform their house visit? How can people perform their house calls on you?
I'm at Joshua Conkel on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Instagram. What are we watching next week? It's a very good one.
Next week, we are doing another absolute venerated classic. To me, this is very much in the art house horror 101 pantheon, and it's kind of weird it's taken us this long to do, but it's not one that I don't think it's talked about as much nowadays as it kind of
used to be talked about a lot. Yeah,
so hopefully we can get that going again. We are heading to France. We are going back into the 1980s, so maybe a little bit more contemporary for some people and maybe a little bit more mainstream than The Plumber, and we will be looking for the lost classic that is Georges Louzier's The Vanishing.
Can't wait. All right, see you next week, everyone. Thank you. Bye.